Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to seek the daily current affairs of 26th August. So today we are going to discuss the topics of warship INS Mumbai to make first visit to Sri Lanka today. So which we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, classical language centers ask for autonomy. So which we have to see under GS2 paper under governance. Next, sonoluminescence a little light, which we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, frequent mass wasting in Tibet, a cause for worry in India. So which comes under GS1 geography paper. Next, Champagne tribe, editorial analysis, and finally the international organizations. So our first topic today is warship INS Mumbai to make first visit to Sri Lanka today. So we have to know about the news first. INS Mumbai, a frontline Indian Navy warship, will visit Colombo for 3 days starting Monday, marking its first visit to Sri Lanka. The ship will deliver spares for Sri Lankan Dornier maritime patrol aircraft and support their maintenance. So with this we have to know about INS Mumbai. INS Mumbai is an Indian Navy warship commissioned on January 22, 2001. So it is a third ship of the Delhi class destroyers designed and built indigenously by Mazagon Dock Limited in Mumbai. INS Mumbai underwent a mid-life upgrade in 2023 and continues to serve as a vital asset to the Indian Navy. It is equipped with advanced weaponry, that is, INS has anti-aircraft, anti-ship and anti-submarine capabilities. It features a combination of surface-to-air missiles, BrahMos, supersonic cruise missiles, torpedoes and anti-submarine rocket launchers. The ship is also equipped with modern radar and communication system, making it formidable asset in naval warfare. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2016. Which one of the following is the best description of INS Ashtadrarni that was in the news recently? The answer is C. Torpedo launch and recovery vessel. Our next topic is about classical language centers ask for autonomy. So first of all, we have to know about why it is in news. The news highlights the ongoing struggle of India's classical language centers for Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Odia, which are seeking autonomy from the Central Institute of Indian Languages to address funding delays and operational challenges. So India has 6 classical languages, that is Tamil, Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Odia. So centers for Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Odia function under the Central Institute of Indian Languages, that is under Mysuru. The Tamil Center is autonomous and Sanskrit promotion is managed through dedicated universities. Now what is the demand for autonomy? Project directors of Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Odia centers demand autonomy to improve functioning. Centers face delays and financial constraints due to dependence on CIIL for approval and reimbursements. Now, what are all the challenges faced here? Vacant positions for research scholars and administrative staff due to irregular funding. For example, Telugu Center only 12 out of 36 approved by staff position filled. In Odia Center only 8 out of 40 approved staff positions filled. In Malayalam Center it operates just with 2 employees. So now we have to know about the 6 classical languages. First, Sanskrit. It is an ancient language foundational to Indian culture, rich literary heritage including Vedas, Upanishads and epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. Basic for many Indian languages and influenced Southeast Asian languages, preserved through oral tradition and later written in Devagiri script. Next, Tamil. One of the oldest living classical language, over 2000 years old. Extensive literary tradition including Sangam literature. Official language of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, also spoken in Sri Lanka. Influences modern Tamil culture, religion and arts. Next, Telugu, predominantly spoken in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, originates from Dravidian family with literature dating back to the 11th century. Rich poetic and musical tradition influenced by Sanskrit. Script evolved from Brahmini, highly artistic. Next, Kannada, language of Karnataka with ancient roots. Earliest literary works date to the 9th century, including Kaviraja Marga, rich in literature with many Jaina, Veerashaiva, and modern contributions, written in the Kannada script, which evolved from Brahmini. Next, Malayalam, spoken in Kerala, a history over 1000 years, evolved from ancient Tamil with distinct literature from 12th century, rich tradition in poetry, drama, and prose, uses the Malayalam script derived from the Grantha script. Next, Odia, predominantly spoken in Odisha. Literary history dates back over 1000 years with Sarla Das Mahabharata, rich tradition of devotional and folk literature written in the Odia script derived from the Kalinga script. Next, the advantages of inclusion in classical language status. So the advantages are financial support, academic recognition, academic recognition. Third is scholarship opportunities. Fourth, cultural preservation. Fifth, global recognition. So that's all from this topic. With this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2015. Which one of the following was given classical language status recently? So the answer is A, Odia. So our next topic is about sonoluminescence, a little light. We have to know about the news first. Recent studies have provided deeper insights into mechanics of this, particularly the conditions under which the light is emitted from collapsing bubbles in liquids. So we have to know about what is sonoluminescence. It is a phenomenon in which small gas bubbles in liquid emit short bursts of light when exposed to intense and sound waves. The light is produced when the bubble undergoes rapid compression and expansion. This is due to alternating high and low pressure phases of sound waves causing the gas inside to heat up and emit light. This phenomenon was discovered in 1934 by two German engineers while they are studying sonar technology, which uses sound waves to detect objects underwater. They noticed that when a tiny bubble in a liquid was hit by strong sound waves, it emitted a brief flash of light. What are the mystery behind it? So although the general mechanism is understood, the exact details of how this light is produced remain a mystery. Scientists are still exploring the precise process that causes the gas inside the bubble to ionize and emit light at such high temperature. Now what are the examples seen here? So we have two. First one is controlled experiments. Next, pistol shrimp. So first, under controlled experiments in a laboratory settings, scientists create this by trapping a bubble in a liquid and subjecting it to high frequency sound waves. In pistol shrimp, they use when the shrimp, that is marine creature with a specialized claw, snaps its claw shut, it shoots out a jet of water that moves so fast it creates a low pressure bubble. The bubble then collapses, producing a loud sound, intense heat, and sometimes a brief flash of light. So that's all from that topic, and we'll be seeing next topic as frequent mass wasting in a Tibet, a cause for worry in India. So we have to know why it is in news. A recent study on frequent mass wasting in Sadagon Gully and rapid warming raises concerns for India's northeast region. So first we have to know about Sarangpur Gully. It is the largest bend region of Yarlung Tsangpo River located in the southeastern Tibetan plateaus. Debris flows have occurred in two adjacent gullies, namely Sarangpu Gully and Zalongong Gully, that is SDP and ZLN, since from 1950s. Now, what are the frequencies of mass wasting events? Since 2007, over 700 million cubic meters of debris have been mobilized in this region catchment, with more than 68% of total 19 identified mass wasting events occurring in this period. The events include ice rock avalanches, ice moraine avalanches, and glacier debris flows. Now, what are the geological causes here? The increased frequency of mass wasting is attributed to a combination of long-term warming and seismic activity. The area rarely experienced temperatures above 0 degrees Celsius before 2012, but the climate change has led to significant warming, destabilizing permafrost, and increasing landslide activity. The 6.4 magnitude Ninchingli earthquake in November 2017 also contributed to the destabilization of slopes. So with this, we have to know about China's plans and implications of river management. The first thing is hydropower projects. Hydropower projects. China is planning to construct a massive 60 gigawatt hydropower project on Sangpo River, which could exacerbate sedimentation issues downstream. Next is river choking and flash floods. River choking and flash floods. The study warns that increased sedimentation from mass wasting events could choke river channels, particularly affecting the Brahmaputra river system. Next, historical flood events. So past incidents like 2000 floods in Arunachal Pradesh caused by landslides blocking the Sangpo River show how dangerous landslides can be for areas downstream. The chance of similar disasters is higher now because of the ongoing geological instability in the Sedangpo Gully. So bilateral and multilateral dialogues and real-time monitoring are also to be done under this. So with this, we have the UPSC mains question which have been asked in 2021. Briefly mention the alignment of major mountain ranges of the world and explain the impact on local weather conditions with examples. So you can practice on this question. So our next topic is about Shompen tribe. So the development of a port and airport in the pristine Nicobar Islands will not disturb or displace any of the Shompen, the Union Environment Ministry said recently. So we have to know about these tribes now. They are one of the most isolated tribes on the earth. They are one of the least studied, particularly vulnerable tribal groups in India. That is, they come under PVTGs. They reside in dense tropical rainforest of the Great Nicobar Islands of Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. Around 95% of island is covered in the rainforest. The Shompen habitat is also an important biological hotspot, and there are two national parks and one biosphere reserve, namely Campbell Bay National Park, Galathea National Park, and Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserves. And with this, we have to know about their population. Though according to the census of 2011, the estimated population of these tribes is 229. The exact population of this tribe is unknown till today. Most of them remain in the forest and have little or no contact with outsiders. They are semi-nomadic hunter-gatherers, and their main source of their livelihood are hunting, gathering, fishing, and a little bit of horticulture activities in the rudimentary form. They live in small groups whose territories are identified the rivers that crisscross the rainforest. Being nomadic, they typically set up forest camps where they live for a few weeks or months before moving to another site. They collect a wide variety of forest plants, but their staple food is the pandan fruit, which they call laro, called as laro. They speak their own language, which has many dialects. Members of one band do not understand the dialect of other. They are of short to medium stature, have a round or nearly broad head shape, narrow nose, a broad facial profile, and distinctly exhibit mongoloid features such as light brown to yellow brown skin and oblique eye features. They have nuclear families comprising husband, wife, and their unmarried children. The family is controlled by the eldest male member who controls all activities of the women and kids. Monogamy is the general rule, although polygamy is allowed too. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2019. Consider the following statements about particularly vulnerable tribe groups, that is PVTGs, in India. So PVTGs reside in 18 states and one union territory. A stagnant or declining population in one of the criteria for determining PVTG status. There are 95 PVTGs officially notified in the countries so far. Irudar and Konda Reddy tribes are included in the list of PVTGs. Which of the statement is given above is correct? So the answer is C. The first statement, second statement, and fourth statement are the correct statements. Next, we'll be seeing the editorial analysis. The topic is investing in persons with disabilities. The article highlights the societal stigma, marginalization, and lack of infrastructure faced by persons with disabilities in India, especially in education and in employment. Despite legal mandates for inclusivity, poor implementation, and negative societal attitudes persist, underscoring the need for systematic change and social awareness to ensure dignity for PWDs. So, with this, we have to know about their education and employment challenges. A 2023 report shows only 50 companies have more than 1% of PWDs on their workforce, with most being public sector enterprises. Data from National Center for Promotion of Employment for Disabled People indicates less than 1% of educational institutions are accessible for PWDs. The Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 mandates reservation in government jobs and provides incentives for non-government jobs. Its implementation is lacking. Inaccessible infrastructure and limited inclusion policies hinder full participation of PWDs in society. Now, what we have with this, we have to know about the international models for inclusivity in education. Institutions like Harvard and Stanford in the US have inclusive frameworks providing housing and disability support for students with disabilities. In India, few universities such as Shiv Nada University have begun implementing similar models offering personalized support to students with disabilities. Next, the workspace inclusivity and policy failures. Despite the legal mandate for workforce inclusion, employees have not efficiently implemented reservations or diversity policies. States should develop complaints mechanism of these mandates. A model from Brazil mandates that companies with more than 100 employees must have 2% to 5% of PWDs in the workforce with penalties or non-compliance. Japan's subsidiary system for PWD employees offers a successful example of incentivizing inclusion. Next, struggle for dignity and representation. British artist David Harvey and socialist Colin Barnes have criticized the negative portrayal of PWDs in media and society. They are often stereotyped as objects of pity, incapable of full community participation, or burdens on society, contributing to ongoing discrimination. Recent incidents such as mocking by former cricketers highlighted the continued stigmatization of the PWDs. Now, what is needed for a social change here? Ensuring the dignity, representation, and respect for PWDs requires both systematic change and social awareness to create an inclusive environment where they can thrive. So with this, we have to know about the erosion of identity for PWDs. So what are the erosion of identities for PWDs? These are first, the negative representation. Next is perception as burdens. Perception as burdens. The third is intersectionality. Intersectionality of disability. Next, the social inclusion. Social exclusion. So these are the erosion of identity for PWDs. So with this, we'll be discussing the international organization topic, that is CITES. So we have to know about what it is. The CITES full form is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of wild fauna and flora. It is an international agreement between governments that aims to ensure that international trade in wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. It was adopted in the year 1973 and entered into the force in 1975. There are 184 members parties and trade is regulated in more than 38,000 species. Although CITES is legally binding on the parties, in other words, they have to implement the convention, it does not take the place of national laws. The CITES Secretariat is administered by the United Nations Environment Programme and is located in Geneva, Switzerland. The CITES Secretariat is administered by the United Nations Environment Programme and is located in the Geneva, Switzerland. Representation of sites. Nations meet every 2 to 3 years at the Conference of Parties, that is COP, to review progress and adjust the list of protected species, which are grouped into 3 categories with different levels of protection. The first one is Appendix 1. It includes species threatened with extinction and provides the greatest level of protection, including a prohibition on commercial trade. Next, Appendix 2. It includes species that are not currently threatened with extinction but may become so without trade controls. Country issues permitted on findings that species were legally acquired and trade will not be detrimental to the survival of the species or its role in the ecosystem. Next, Appendix 3. It includes species for which a country has asked other sites parties to help control international trade. Trade in Appendix 3 species is regulated using CITES export permits that is listed under in Appendix 3 and certified of origin. Countries may list species for which they have domestic regulations in Appendix 3 at any time. CITES also brings together law enforcement officers from wildlife authorities, national parks, customs, and police agencies to collaborate on efforts to combat wildlife crime targeted at animals such as elephants and rhinos. So that's all from our today's topic. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.